On the news tonight, Supreme Court adjourns Naira redesign case to March. INEC distributes sensitive materials ahead of Saturday poll. While on the foreign scene, tropical cyclone batters Madagascar. Major report is coming your way now because of Nigeria versus Egypt football match that will be transmitted live on this channel. Please bear with us. I am Olubumi Ajibu. The Supreme Court has adjourned the lawsuit by state governors against the federal government till March 3rd over Naira notes. A 7-man panel of the Apex Court presided by Justice John Okoro announced the date for judgment shortly after taking all arguments for and against the policy. The judgment date will be after the presidential election on February 25. More than 5 states have joined the suit by Kaduna, Zamfara, and Kogi state governments against the federal government over the scarcity of old and new Naira notes due to the Central Bank of Nigeria Naira redesign policy. The state government said they are worried about the effects of this in the National Broadcast Order, the CBN, to allow the old 200 Naira notes and redesigned 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes to coexist. The president said only the 200 Naira notes will continue to be legal tender till Monday, April 10. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has presented flags to candidates of the People's Democratic Party for the national and state assemblies in a mop-up campaign in Osun East and Central Senatorial District. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekileko reports.
Ahead of the Thursday night deadline for political campaigns, the People's Democratic Party in Osun State has embarked on its mop-up campaign to solicit votes for its candidates, starting with the presidential flag bearer Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and his running mate Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, National Assembly candidate for Osun East, West and Central Senatorial Districts, as well as those seeking to represent their state constituencies in Osun State House of Assembly. On arrival in Ile-Ife, members of the public trooped out en masse to cheer the governor. Members of the opposition or Progressives Congress APC who were holding their meeting along Enowa Road in Ile-Ife could not resist the attempt, as some of them turned back to wave at the convoy of Senator Ademola and acknowledged them by waving at them. On arrival at the campaign venue in Enowa roundabout Ile-Ife, the governor presented party flags to all the candidates of the party for Ife South, Ife East, Ife North and Central state constituencies, as well as candidates of the party for the Ife Federal Constituency, Honorable Taufik Ajile-Soro, as well as that of Osun East Senatorial District, Senator Francis Fadaunsi. The campaign train moved to Ilesha, where the governor assured the people of Ijesha Land that his administration will leave no stone unturned in establishing the proposed University of Ilesha as soon as the committee submits its report. He used the occasion to present flag to the candidates of the party for national and state assembly constituencies.
Abali ẹgbẹ́ PDP ní o lọ́tẹ̀ yìí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa lọ dáadáa abẹ́ẹ̀ tí ìrọwọ́ mi ní ilẹ̀ yìí ó ṣe pàtàkì púpọ̀. Yunifásitì sọ pé a ṣe àwọn kọ́mítì wọn ò tí submit report ní o tó bá ti submit report mo go ọ̀sán ni kò sí tó ṣe.
From Ilesha, the train moved to Ijebu-Jesha for Obokun-Oriade Federal Constituency rally. The convoy departed Ijebu-Jesha Palace Square for Ila-Orangun, the headquarters of Ila-Ife-Dayo Boluwadro Federal Constituency. The governor called on the people to vote for candidates of People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the election. At the campaign rallies, the Director General of Atiku Okowa campaign, Honorable Sunday Bisi, used the occasion to highlight some of the achievements of the PDP administration under the leadership of Senator Ademola Adeleke to include payment of arrears of half salaries, construction of abandoned road projects, sinking of boreholes in each wards, revamping of primary health care center in each of the 332 wards across the state, as well as appointments of 4 new judges into the Osun State High Court of Justice. From Ilaonagun, it has been Abdurrahim Adekileku reporting.
Meanwhile, Governor Ademola Adeleke says voting candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming elections is the only way to get freedom from the shackle of economic hardship. Governor Adeleke said this at a mock-up rally held in Okuku, Odoroti, local government of Osun State. Addressing the gathering, Governor Ademola Adeleke appreciated the people of Odoroti for their support during the governorship election that led to his emergence as the state's houseman, assuring them of maximum benefits of democratic dividends. The governor noted that his administration will not renege on promises made, pointing out the governor employed the people of Odoroti local governments to vote candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the February 25th and March 11th 2023 elections for the good work to continue in their separate addresses. A former governor of Osun State, Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola and Pashuaib Oyedokun, described the People's Democratic Party as the only political party to shun any form of intimidation but vote PDP for liberation. Also speaking, the chairman Atiku Okowa campaign committee in the state, Mr. Sunday BC, explained that Osun State is ready to turn in over 1 million votes for its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared that there is no going back on the conduct of Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. The Osun State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, made the declaration during the collection, and Oluchi Amoda has more. In preparatory to the presidential and National Assembly elections holding on Saturday, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has commenced the collection of sensitive materials lodged with the Central Bank of Nigeria for onward distribution to INEC offices in all the local government areas across the state. While addressing newsmen, the Osun Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, said the agency has put all necessary machineries in motion to ensure the success of the election.
What you have seen on ground are the ballot papers, result sheets of presidential election, senatorial election. Them painstakingly take them that the commission is ready for this election.
While answering questions about the preparedness of the commission towards the protection of lives of both the staff and ad hoc staff of INEC that will be involved in the election, going by the recent attacks on the commission's facilities in different parts of the country, the INEC rec assured that the electoral umpire is on top of the situation. Dr. Agboke noted that security operatives have been deployed to all INEC offices across the country to safeguard lives and property.
The commission is in touch. The commission is talking. The commission is arranging and having proper understanding with our ISS members. The synergy is on ground. Most of our local government offices are well secured.
The presidential and National Assembly elections are billed to hold on the 25th of this month, while doubts of the governorship and state houses of assembly will come up on the 11th of next month. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria initially barred journalists in Osun State from covering the distribution of sensitive materials by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Journalists who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News described the situation as unacceptable for the conduct of free and fair elections in the country. Again, Oluchi Amoda has the rest of the story. With just few days to the much-awaited 2023 election, and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Osun State had announced it will carry out the collection of sensitive materials lodged with the Central Bank of Nigeria for deployment to its local government offices in Osun State. Drama, however, ensued when journalists that were on ground to cover the collection and distribution of the sensitive materials were prevented from entering the office of the Central Bank of Nigeria by officers of the Department of State Services (DSS), who claimed to be acting on orders from above.
That's the directives from the management there. So please, if they say if you want to do anything, you get to the other side there and do.
The Osun Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, who frowned seriously at the situation, registered his displeasure about the overzealousness of the security officers, which he described as detrimental to the growth of democracy. Early as 8 o'clock in the morning, could not comprehend the reason newsmen should not be allowed to carry out their constitutional duties of keeping the public informed about the electoral process, most especially when the general election is just around the corner. Speaking in separate interviews with Osbc News, some of them, including Mr. Denita Akinola and Mr. Toba Adedeji, described the situation as unacceptable, bearing in mind that all the stakeholders in the electoral process have different roles to play towards ensuring the conduct of free, fair and credible elections in Nigeria.
We're also scared, and I'm worried that this is happening. This is for the first time that in the last 20-something years that he was shouting on the top of his voice. Now, why would you not allow the media to come in? But they said it's order from above. One of them even said erroneously that since 1992, media has not been allowed to come into the CBN. So I don't know why the CBN is doing this. There is nothing that warrants it as we speak, particularly in this Osun state, that why CBN should bar journalists from getting access to look at the way material is being disbursed. Political party representatives are also here. They are also not allowed to come in. So it's worrisome.
I've been here as early as 8 a.m. just to witness the collection of the sensitive material for distribution by INEC. But when we arrived this place around that after 8, the security said no, they will not allow us in. So we are thinking, okay, if the INEC official they are around, I think they will. So, but unfortunately, when the rec arrived, he insisted that we must enter. So, but for us at now, they deny journalists and also the party leadership to enter to see what the sensitive material looks like.
Meanwhile, after waiting for several hours, CBN officials finally permitted the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Agboke, to allow journalists into their premises to cover the collection of sensitive materials preparatory to Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has released cash to the Independent National Electoral Commission ahead of national and state elections on February 25 and March 11. A source at the Apex Bank confirmed to journalists that the cash was released to INEC following the assurances of the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, to INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, that cash will not be a constraint to the successful conduct of the elections. It will be recorded that the CBN governor gave the assurances when the INEC was called on him, telling him that the service providers, especially transporters, were required to be paid in cash. And besides, experience has shown that emergency situations do arise on election day, which could demand the use of cash by the Commission. It was in response to this that the CBN released the undisclosed amount of cash to the Commission. 2 members of the People's Democratic Party in Elisha have been shot dead, with the third one in coma. Those killed by suspected thugs of the All Progressives Congress include Rafiu Quadri Abiodun of Ilosi, Elijah Babayewe from Ayeri, while Genga Femi from Olorunsogo is in the state of coma. Reports from Ijeshala revealed that the hooded gunmen attacked a group of PDP supporters soon after Governor Ademola Adeleke concluded his campaign at Elisha West. Reacting to the developments, the Director General of Atiku Kowa Campaign Organization in Osun State, Honorable Sunday Bisi, confirmed the incident, calling it a condemnable act of political terrorism on the innocent party members. Meanwhile, the Osun State People's Democratic Progressives Congress involved in the killing and maiming of its members during its campaign rally in Elisha. The caretaker chairman of the PDP in the state, Dr. Akindele Adekunle, stated this in Osogbo while condemning the dastardly act adding that it is regrettable to note that in the local government by shooting sporadically and targeting PDP members who enthusiastically welcomed the campaign train of the ruling party led by the governor of the state, Senator Ademola Adeleke. The governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke,